Fall practice has started, and there is plenty of buzz on the practice fields. You know, usually there's a little disappointing season, but I don't know if I've ever seen this much buzz at this point in the season.
Well, Bob, you can hear it all the way down here. The buzz out there is just incredible for this time of year so far, comparatively speaking. But before we get into that, I want to say quickly that we're going to have an upcoming video on all this college football realignment that's going on. And I don't know if realignment's really the right word. We're probably looking at more like a implosion
Yeah,
or something. The Pac-10, Pac-12, Pac-4, I don't know what you call it. Pack your bags. I don't know. It's, put a fork in them, they're done. Uh, ACC is now walking the green mile. They're guaranteed they are whistling past the graveyard, hoping to keep FSU and Miami and Clemson and North Carolina, Virginia. They're all being rumored being courted by other people. But you know what? Honestly, we can make one out today, and 30 minutes after we release it, it's all up in the air,
yeah.
change over. So we're going to wait a few days. Today is all about the Big Orange and fall practice.
That's right, Tim. Let's start with quarterback position. That's where it all starts anyway. Joe Milton has looked pretty dang good so far. I've watched every piece of video I could see of him, and man, his accuracy's on point. I mean, I've been very impressed with him. He's leaned down a little bit in order to try to become more mobile, and early reports says he's been very good at being a leader
Mhm.
and that kind of stuff too, which is quarterback really kind of key for a quarterback.
Well, 4 days in, it's like it's exactly what you want to hear from a quarterback. You know, accurate, zip on his passes, throwing some soft touch passes, leadership, everything you want to hear. 4 days in,
Yeah. So
Milt,
far, looks great.
so
So
far
far.
so good. Everything we hoped for is where he's at right now. And if something was to go wrong there, uh, Nico is up next. And what's his buzz, Bob?
I'd say he's looked good. A little bit of accuracy issues, but overall, I think they're very happy with him so far. And I reckon accuracy with freshmen, with a lot of timing and footwork and mechanics, they'll get that all worked
Yeah.
out. And I think at this point, from everything I've heard, is he looks good. They're happy with him.
Yeah, I've heard he's been throwing a little high on some passes. They'll work on that. Not going to be an issue unless you're still hearing about it in a fall camp. And then actually, he may not be getting in games anyway until he gets it fixed.
Right.
But I mean, overall, good reports out of Nico.
Yeah.
And just to be honest about it, dude, he's a freshman. Uh, I can't imagine being 17, 18 years old again and 200,000 people wanting every word on what I'm doing.
No, yeah.
So.
That's crazy.
But on that side of the ball, let's stick around. Let's go to that running back position. Good looking room altogether.
Oh,
But
yeah.
who's creating a little buzz from them?
By the way, that room's super deep, but yeah, a lot of buzz about old Cam Seldon, true freshman. He done a little bit in spring, but the kid looks great, and I reckon he has really picked up a lot of the understanding. The guy's kind of new to running back position. He's played some wide receiver, and I fully kind of expect him to play kind of a dual role at UT. And as soon as he gets the kind of good grasp of both spots, I really think this guy's going to be a star. I've said that before. You'll hear me say it again until the kid proves me wrong. Cam Seldon will be a superstar at Tennessee.
I have heard you with
Yeah,
that H word
yeah,
before
yeah.
with him.
Yeah, I just think he's going to be fantastic. The boy's going to catch a lot of passes down there. He's going to be a nightmare uh,
Yeah.
for opposing defenses. And I think they're going to try to use him. I ain't saying his running style's like this player, but I think he's going to be used a little like Percy Harvin. Uh, a lot of people remember him, played for Florida.
Yeah.
I
I
think,
try not to.
yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Yeah,
But
but Seldon's everything you really want. I mean, he does. He looks great, and like you said, he had not played the running back position really to any degree, uh, noteworthy degree,
mhm.
and he was way behind in spring. But they've said he's made a jump. I'm sure he's still got more to go, but a lot of good things about him and a lot of good things about his freshman running mate.
Mm-hmm. Khalifa Keith, yeah, looked huge. I seen the first pictures of him there. I think it was the second practice, and I was like, dang, who's that guy? I mean, for a freshman, he's put together. I mean, I know he's supposed to be kind of big, decent size when he come in, but I thought, he had a little, like most freshmen, have some little baby fat on him and stuff. But yeah, this guy looks big, so he looks like a SEC running back.
He's lean. He looks like a brute.
Hmm.
I think he caught everybody's eye when he came first few days. Like, wow, who's that guy?
Yeah.
Definitely one of the first guys to get off the bus. But now, obviously he any kind of luck, we're not going to use him this year, but we'll see. But anyway, he is doing the buzz. Another guy on the offensive side that we talked about on another video, Mr. McCallum Castles.
Yeah, I reckon he looked good. He's got a better understanding of the offense and what he needs to do. There was a lot of little things he needed to work on, even though he was an upperclassman when he transferred here from UC Davis. But there's a lot of there's a lot to learn when it comes to the tight end position, and I reckon he's looking a lot better, and I think he's going to have a great year this year.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That tight end position is kind of lean. It isn't very deep. So we're going to need some good quality out of him. And we're going to need it out of his freshman running mate there, also, Ethan Davis.
Very talented guy, and probably the biggest buzz on him is he's healthy. I reckon he got hurt at the very end of
He
spring
broke his
practice.
collarbone.
Yeah, and the guy, I reckon, has been back for a little while and looks great. So,
I think you once told me, Bob, that you thought he was one of the most talented tight ends we've had down there since Jason Witten, I think you told me.
yeah, in my opinion, I think he is the most talented tight end we've had down there. But,
Yeah. Leads you to say, how do you define talent? Because
Yeah.
this next guy is redefining the word.
well, I think he was the most talented in spring until another guy showed up.
Yeah. Let me quickly say one thing about Emmanuel Okoye. Okay. We
There's
could
got
probably
another
do a yeah, we could probably do an episode on him. I just want to say that right now, but that's another thing. Bob.
The guy, he may have like a cape he pulls out from, his uniform, but a lot of buzz about that guy. I mean, huge. The guy may not play a bit this year and probably won't. I mean, he just super raw, only played football like 1 year. And
Yes,
it's
from
just,
Nigeria, went to London. If you don't know the story behind him, was found at a basketball uh, little camp or something. Somebody from NFL Europe was in attendance, talked him into going to London, uh, where he first got onto a football field or anything. I think this is the first time he's ever been on a football field with hash marks, though. So I heard someone say that.
I think you're right about that.
So it's like, okay, super raw guy. What does his coach think about him, Bob?
Yeah,
Because this don't sound real.
super high praise from his coach, Alec Abel. He said he's got a chance to be the most athletic guy to ever play the tight end position.
Now you mean UT,
Ever. Tight end,
Southeastern Conference?
NFL included too. I mean, I know that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, he said he had an unlimited ceiling.
Unlimited ceiling.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd heard before he got here and, about his verticals and, all those measurements.
Well,
I thought, well, if half of them are true, the guy's going to be unreal. Apparently, they're true.
yeah, because we discussed that earlier when he talked about all his measurements that the NFL Europe people were giving out. He was already, if you looked at him at other tight end positions, he would have held the NFL combine record on about 3 different testing measurements.
Not bad for high school kids.
Yeah, I mean, if that's all you can do,
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah, so I'm super pumped about him. You put him and Davis together, man, its future's bright there. Yeah, it gets me excited.
Yeah, I can't tell.
Yeah.
But let's take him. Get away with that. Let's hit now. Okay, next position we're going to hit real fast is offensive line. And until the pads come on, we're not going to hear a whole lot about offensive line.
Yeah, it's a hard one to see it, You won't get a whole lot of buzz from that position.
No, but the only thing you do is like, what do people coming in look like? did they come in shape? Did they, which everybody should be a little bit better. But, who transformed the body the most is what?
That would probably John Campbell, uh, transfer from Miami. I mean, I didn't really think he was
In bad shape.
all that,
Huh?
yeah. But he's done good there. I'll tell you one other guy I just thought of was JUCO transfer Larry Johnson. He's also lost a lot of weight. I'm not sure where he's at on the depth chart, but he's a guy that I think they'll expect something out of him. Maybe not this year, but next.
Yeah, but he is transforming his body too.
He lost
He
a
was
lot.
gigantic when we signed him, and he
Yeah.
trimmed up for spring, and he's continued to trim up during summer. So he's showing a good work ethic
hmm
and getting that weight down.
Uh, the next guy we'll probably check out on offense is Keaton. I mean, so far, that's what the buzz has been on wide receivers. Everybody thought Thornton, we Squirrel White, Brew McCoy, but Keaton,
Which I've heard nothing bad about any of those guys.
no, nothing. But Keaton has been the most impressive so far through 4 practices. You know, that's impressive.
Yeah, his consistency, um, lean. They say he looks good, maybe a little faster.
Mhm.
Um, Keaton's a warrior. He don't want to give up that position. He sees competition coming in, and he just went to work.
I reckon he kind of took over the jug machine that Hyatt took over last year. So let's hope we get that kind of transformation.
Well, I mean, Bob, Jalen Hyatt set the standard and showed those guys down there where you can go from catching 5, 6, 7, 10 passes into being a Billy Club winner in just 1 year by dedicating yourself to your craft.
hmm
And Ramel Keaton paid attention.
Yeah, hard work pays off.
It does. Um, and we're going to switch over to the defensive side into a group. I say a group because this entire group has really been setting some of the buzz for the entire, as much as anybody. But it's going to start with some linebackers, Bob.
Yeah, man, Aaron Carter looks fantastic. He's a guy who future star, and I thought maybe he might be the only guy out of that class that might be a future star. But Jeremiah Telander, dude, both come in looking like, you know,
Like they belong.
yeah, upper echelon SEC players. They look like ball players. I mean, they're going to be the future's super bright at that position.
Yeah. And one other guy and actually with multiple guys out of the linebacker unit's been creating some buzz. But one other guy
Yeah.
we definitely want to mention too is the transfer, Kenyon Peely,
hmm
who surprised them in the spring. They were very happy. We thought he was a little bit more athletic looking than what they thought. And apparently he went to work this summer too.
Yeah, I reckon he's looked great. Kind of surprised, like you said, by how good he has looked. I reckon he was doing a pass rush drill the other day, and I mean, looked fantastic.
Yeah, technique wise was outstanding. Miners is what we're hearing.
So the run backs had a problem stopping him. So I mean, stuff like you might see him rushing the passer a lot this year.
Yeah, I would assume it would have been just Beasley coming in from that
That's why I
linebacker
was,
spot up the
yeah,
middle, but it may be not be that case. It could be either or.
could it?
Yeah, which is great because keep the defense. I mean, offense catching. Listen at me. Keep the offense guessing,
Yes.
just like I'm guessing what I'm gonna say next.
All right. Uh, yeah, there's several guys there, and there's I could go on about the other 2 or 3 more guys on linebackers, but those are probably the two that's probably got or the three that's got the most buzz right now.
Yeah, particularly the freshmen. But
Yeah. Uh,
speaking of freshmen,
Nathan Robinson looked pretty good, I reckon.
they say he looks on million bucks too. And there's a kid that really low rated. We thought he might be one of those diamonds in the rough that everybody's always hoping all your 3 stars are. But he was one that jumped out to us that might be actually one of them that do. And he has so far. Once
Looks
again,
good. Yeah.
no pads.
Right.
Looks the part.
Looks the part. Looks like an SEC big time defensive lineman. And that's what else can you ask for coming in? I mean, I know he's got a long way to go, but the boy's gonna be a big time player, I do believe, for us.
Yeah. Fact is, we got several, let me just, freshman defensive linemen that you probably want to talk about, Bob, that has really looked good walking through the doors anyway.
Yeah, a guy who was underrated that the staff loved as soon as they got him. They was hoping nobody else would pay much attention to him. Weathersby. Uh, man, I tell you what, when I seen him do a little interview the other day, I thought, did an NFL vet sneak in
Yeah, because
and
this
do a
guy
little
looks like he's 35 with 4 kids and house payment and everything.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and he sounded even older than that. I mean,
Yeah, but he looks the part.
yeah, he
I mean,
does.
this kid looks like. Now once again, it's shorts and everybody can look good, but this guy looks impressive.
Yeah. Uh, and 5-star Devlin Hobbs, I reckon they're pretty high on him too. I mean, I reckon he's looked really good in camp so far.
Yeah, he missed spring practice because of an injury, so he wasn't able to go through it, but he could learn and everything. And yeah, he's created some buzz down there too. Um, it's not many years we can say we had got a 5-star defensive tackle that we're not counting on, but he looks like somebody that is going to be what he was sold to be.
Yeah. Another defensive lineman that continues to carry over some buzz from spring is Elijah Simmons. I reckon he's looked really good so far. 4 practices in, but the last part of spring and then the beginning of fall camp, I reckon he's looked fantastic.
Well, his issue has always been consistency,
Hmm.
and during the spring, he was actually consistent. That's what was blowing people away. It was he's been put 2 practices together. It was good. 4 practices a week, 2 weeks. Pretty soon it was pretty much all spring. He'd put them together. He stacked them, and he started apparently this. Once again, I've said it 14 times. I'm sure already. We don't have pads on, but um, good positive buzz coming from Simmons.
Hmm. Well, usually the linemen's guys, you really don't hear a whole lot of buzz until the pads come on. So if you got anything out of them at this point, then that's good.
Yes.
The secondary, there's not a whole lot of info out there just yet on those guys, except for the fact that some of them's moving around. Burrell, they're trying him a little bit at Star to see, maybe he moves there, but you know, Haddon still looking good. And who else, Tim?
Well, Kristen Charles moved from corner back to safety. Is probably his more natural
I
position.
think so. I think
One that
he's
he
going to
can,
be a player there.
yeah, he can actually make a dent
Mhm.
at safety. They're going to move these guys around quite a bit to see. Because we had so many injuries last year, they had to move this guy here, this guy there. So they're going to try to find their natural spots here in fall practice, and hopefully, I mean, there's going to be a lot of competition,
Hmm.
and with Nico Slaughter probably locking down one cornerback position at a pretty high level, hopefully, that's going to give the staff a whole lot of ability to kind of move some chess pieces around and get the right guys where they need them.
Being healthy, I think, is the biggest thing for this group. A year older, an off season to trying to gain their confidence back and being healthy.
Yeah.
I really think we're going to see a big improvement in the secondary.
Yeah. If you just told me those things, I'd say I'd look for an improvement. Plus we do know we did hit the transfer portal,
Hmm.
brought in a fairly good prospect
Yeah.
in from there.
Mhm.
Hit the high school ranks, brought in 3 pretty good prospects there at the
That-
corner position.
Yeah, yeah. There's some buzz. Ricky Gibson, they love his athletic ability,
Hmm.
and Jordan Matthews, both. The future's bright with them, and another freshman, John Slaughter.
Yeah, back at the safety spot.
Yeah, I mean, great name for a safety. Uh, Super athletic. Don't know what he does this year, but I think he's going to be an absolute player for us.
Yeah, but the biggest buzz on that position is just the fact that they're moving people around, trying to
Hmm.
thing. But anyway, look, I know it seems like we've touched on almost every starter or backup on the team,
That's good.
which is great.
Yeah.
Uh, of course, this next week, pads come on, and then we're going to see a lot more of who kind of, particularly freshmen,
Hmm.
might take a step back because their head's swimming,
Hmm.
and just can't figure it out for a while. But man, first great 4 days.
Oh, yeah, awesome. Couldn't be happier at this point. That's what you want to hear. Everybody's healthy for the most part. And you want to hear buzz about some of the new guys and some people transforming their bodies. So at this point, can't be happier, you know, with practice. Like I said, healthier, you know,
Yeah.
everything's looking good there.
So, I mean, on that note, go Big Orange. Catch y'all in the next episode.
Go Vols.